It's always a pleasure to be here at Atlantic Dialogues, but having been at every single edition of Atlantic Dialogues, I can say that, you know, with all that is happening in the world at the moment and its effects on the Atlantic world, this kind of conversation is more important than ever. It's become part of the conversation about the global South and the North, the West and the developing world, and this conference has a particular role, I would say, in bringing people together, but also in focusing on some of the key issues at the moment. And so, for me, based in Brussels, it's a tremendous opportunity, and I'm very glad to be here. My own feeling is that, you know, transatlantic relations don't just have to be about an axis between Washington and Brussels, north to north. What happened to the rest of the Atlantic? We should be able to change our mental maps about transatlantic relations and think about the north-south dimension, the south-south dimension, and everything that goes along with that, whether we're talking about security or trade or development or climate policy. It seems to be more and more important that we engage the rest of the world in this transatlantic conversation. Actually, the German Marshall Fund of the United States it's a little misleading because we're not German, we're actually American, but the name commemorates a gift from the German government in 1972, many years after the Marshall Plan, to thank the United States for the Marshall Plan assistance after the Second World War. And we're a foundation that's devoted to transatlantic cooperation, both in that traditional sense, but also more and more we're interested in this north-south dimension for the wider Atlantic. So it's great to have been part of this exercise really from its beginning. Morocco has, I think, an extremely important and maybe unique place to play in all of this, because Morocco has a Mediterranean vocation, an African vocation, but also very importantly an Atlantic vocation, which is very old. Morocco, of course, is one of the earliest, maybe the earliest diplomatic partner, actually, of the United States, which many people forget. So I think it's extremely symbolic, but also practically valuable that Morocco was able to promote this wider sense of transatlantic cooperation. I'm very glad to be here.